What's up, Alabama fans? Chris Daughtry here, and you guys are watching the Alabama Football Report. Before we get into today's show, I just got out of a meeting with the bosses, and they say our shares numbers are not up to par for here at Chat Sports. So we've got to get 20 shares on this video today or else, and I was a little bit too chicken to ask what or else meant. So do me a favor, share today's video and get the word out there to a bunch of Alabama football fans, because the season's just 19 days away now. So let's spread the word. Share today's video on social media. Coming up on today's show, we're going to just be talking about yesterday, what Alabama, the observations from Fan Day yesterday. I really thought that they were going to kind of just have like a little bit of a walkthrough type of practice, but didn't really seem like that was the case. They did take it a little bit lighter, but they were still out there. Full pads, they did some 11-on-11 stuff. They did some 7-on-7 stuff, just individual drills as well. So let's get into it today. Some of the players that did not participate in Fan Day, just like going through drills and practice and everything. Tyler Booker, Jaeden Roberts, Olaus Alinen along the offensive line. None of those guys, they were all dressed, but they did not participate. They were also seen, just going up and down the steps of Bryant-Denny Stadium. So they were participating, but they were still, getting a little bit of a workout in. Richard Young, Jam Miller, Daniel Hill, and Kevin Riley were also all out at that running back spot. The only running back you had participating yesterday was Justice Haynes. And Daniel Hill was also spotted with his left arm in a sling. So that is very notable, I think. He is one of those freshman running backs, so probably not, anything to really get, too, nervous about with him being in that sling. But the one person that does make me a little nervous not going out there and practicing is Jihaad Campbell, because, he had a little bit of some injury issues last year. Luckily Alabama had some pretty solid linebacker depth last year, and it didn't, show itself as a massive issue, but it does make me a little nervous not seeing him out there for practice. One big thing, though, with all those offensive linemen out for practice, this is kind of what it shaked out along the offensive line. You had Kadyn Proctor at left tackle, Geno Vandermark at left guard. I think that those are very, very important reps for Geno Vandermark, I think, because I've been saying it. I think he's going to be your next guy up when it comes to the interior of the offensive line. Whether it's going to be at guard or center, I think he's going to be the next guy to fill one of those roles if somebody goes down. Parker Brailsford was in there getting some more work in. Love to see that. And then Rock Montgomery getting a little bit of time at that right guard position. Wilkin Formby starting with the ones at right tackle. And Elijah Pritchett with the twos at right tackle. So, you had Miles McVay, William Sanders, Joseph Ionata. Heard still kind of had a shaky day. I understand he's a freshman, but hate hearing about shaky days out of your center. That's one of the biggest things that just gives me goosebumps. And then Casey Poe also over there at right guard working with the twos. When it comes to that right tackle, battle that we've been talking about just a ton in this offseason, it's between Elijah Pritchett and Wilkin Formby. This is my personal take. I think Wilkin Formby has a little bit of an advantage over Elijah Pritchett when it comes to that right tackle position. Elijah Pritchett was working more at the left tackle position all spring long. He went through A-Day, he was working at that left tackle spot. A lot of valuable snaps, a lot of valuable experience for him. But with Kadyn Proctor not, yet coming back to Alabama at the time, Elijah Pritchett was over there at that left tackle spot getting those reps instead of getting right tackle reps. And I understand tackle, is kind of tackle, but it is a little bit different, when it comes to just the way, you move and things like that, different sides of the line. And so I do think Wilkin Formby, he got a lot of valuable experience at that right tackle spot. And Elijah Pritchett, with him being over at the left tackle spot, he was losing out on reps during the springtime. So I don't think that necessarily hurt him in this competition, but I do think that it helps Wilkin Formby a lot. Going into, the beginning of the season, he's got more reps at that right tackle spot. I do think that is very, very notable, considering this is a massive battle, I think, along the offensive line. So let me know right now in the comments section, guys, who do you guys think is going to trot out there at right tackle for this first play of the season? Is it going to be Elijah Pritchett type EP? Is it going to be Wilkin Forby type WF at the pinned comment of today's video? Some more wide receiver observations that were very, not shocking, but not what I expected, I guess you could say. Jeremy Bernard, that's absolutely expected going out there with the ones. But you also had Ryan Williams going out there with the ones as well, along with Cole Adams. And, we've been talking about Cole Adams kind of maybe not as much as we should, I think. I think Cole Adams is a very versatile guy. He's a utility guy that can do a lot of things as well. But very interesting to see Ryan Williams already going up there with the ones. Now, whether or not, that's by design because the fans are there and, they want him to, show off a little bit for the fans because, he's a guy that everybody's super excited for. And then you had Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson, and Kobe Prentice going in with the twos. Now, I will also say it might not mean anything at all. They're trying different guys in different lineups, doing things like that during this fall camp, which is, very, very valuable, getting reps with different quarterbacks and things like that. So, but I did think it was really interesting that they did have Ryan Williams and Cole Adams trotting out there with the ones during yesterday's Fan Day. If you guys haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. Checking in here in our August subscriber battle going up against our Michigan Football Report channel, those cheaters. They can't cheat when it comes to subscribers. Let's go. We are ahead right now. We're beating the crap out of them. Let's continue that trend. Let's keep beating them. Go ahead and hit that sub button for me right now. One of the topics that we really haven't talked a whole lot about is who's going to be returning punts for Alabama this year? Some of the guys returning punts yesterday during Fan Day for Alabama. Jaylen Mbakwe, Jeremy Bernard, Cole Adams, Ryan Williams. I think all of these are very, very interesting guys to be throwing out there returning punts. I kind of have confidence in every single one of those guys returning punts. It's a little bit, iffy throwing a freshman out there to return punts. I know we had Caleb Downs doing it for a little bit last year towards the end of the season, but just freshmen going out in those, certain spots like that make me a little nervous. I love what Jaylen Mbakwe brings to this team in terms of explosiveness and just pure athleticism. Same with Ryan Williams. And if those two guys aren't going to be it, Jeremy Bernard, you really want to throw probably your leading wide receiver out there. Nick Saban always kind of just wanted the best guy out there. Didn't really matter if he was wide receiver one or if he was your starting corner or starting safety. Nick Saban just really wanted the best guy out there with the surest hands who's going to catch the ball in the air, for God's sakes. Catch the ball in the air so it's not bouncing another 20 yards. And I think also Cole Adams, they've talked about him being a utility guy, very sure-handed. He's also a very, very interesting name for somebody who could possibly return punts for Alabama this year. So let me know again in the comments section, guys. Let me know, who do you guys think is going to return punts for the Crimson Tide this year? There's a lot of, really talented athletic guys out there. I think Malachi Moore, also another guy that could possibly return punts for you. So let me know in the comments section right now, who do you think will return punts for the Crimson Tide this season? Today's show is presented by Game Time. You guys know that I love the summertime because Major League Baseball is in full swing. We're getting right down to the nitty-gritty, getting close to playoff time. The Atlanta Braves really need our support. I know there's a lot of Alabama fans out there who are also Atlanta Braves fans. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to first pitch. And with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest prices guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. And Alabama football season is just 19 days away. It's creeping up super fast, and you can get your tickets to watch the Crimson Tide in action with Game Time. You can also go see Tom Segura the night before if you want to at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You can get tickets right up to the start of the event, even an hour after it starts. They have exclusive flash deals, sponsor deals, and they have tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and much, much more. They have zone deals where you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Now remember, terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. And we did have kind of our first little look at the, kickers as well. I was going to say kicker battle, but really don't really think it's that much of a kicker battle. Graham Nicholson, the reigning Lou Groza Award winner, probably not the best kicker in college football last year, but that's, neither here nor there. I think Will Reichard's definitely the guy that should have got that award, but I digress. We've got, another really, really good kicker for Alabama this year. Graham Nicholson went 3 for 3 from anywhere from 38 to 40 yards. There were kind of some mixed reporting on that, but they really went left hash, right in the center, right hash. So really like seeing that, he's going out there and, nailing some longer field goals, gaining some, confidence as well. And then you got Connor Talty, a guy that, we thought going into the spring game was going to be Alabama's starting kicker coming this year. And, he kind of struggled a little bit. You could see that he probably just wasn't quite ready, for that position. So he went 2 for 3 as well from 40 yards. So I think that is very, very, solid and encouraging from those kickers. So I want to hear from you guys one more time in the comments section. Alabama fans have had a lot of just, bad history when it comes to that kicker position. So let me know going into this season, what is your confidence level in the kicker? Scale it for me 1 to 10 in the comment section. Now, it didn't really look like the defensive line really had any kind of shakeups. You had Tim Smith, Tim Keenan, Jaheim Otis out there really rotating along with the ones. You had Jamarian Latham in there at that bandit spot with the ones. LT Overton also getting a little bit of reps going in there with the ones as well. And I think that's another position battle that is going to be very intriguing, where Jamarian Latham and where LT Overton are kind of how they're going to get on the field. Is it going to be a down and distance kind of thing? If it's going to be, more of a passing down, maybe LT Overton goes in there and, because it seems like he's been a little bit better of a pass rusher so far, and maybe Jamarian Latham's probably been a little bit better of a run stopper, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how the defensive line shakes out when it comes to the rotations that they're going to use. And then going over to the linebacker position with Jihaad Campbell out, Justin Jefferson also in there at that middle linebacker spot alongside Deontay Lawson. I think that's very, very important as well, because one of those guys go down, Justin Jefferson's going to be the guy as well. I think they're going to rotate him in as well in some different packages, even if somebody doesn't go down. And then Quandarius Robinson, Keanu Coate, also kind of battling for that starting Wolf position. I think at the end of the day, Quandarius Robinson is probably going to start there in the first game, but I think Keanu Coates just, I think he's going to push him. Whether that's push him out of that starting role or push him to be a better player, Keanu Coates there, and he's making a name for himself. I really like what I've seen out of him so far, and I think it's very notable. You have Jeremiah Alexander at that backup middle linebacker spot, and then Justin Okoronkwo, the freshman that came in during the spring, looked very, very good from Germany, by the way. So, very interesting to see him up there working with the twos as well. That's, a very positive sign. And then Noah Carter, also one of those guys that kind of came in late in the recruiting cycle. I want to say he got an interception against Dylan Lonergan yesterday too as well. So nice to see some of those younger guys getting some reps and, just progressing in their development here at Alabama. Now, I don't know if these are going to be your guys that are going to be your team captains this year, but I thought it was very notable that they were your stretching leaders yesterday. Kendrick Law, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, Jalen Milroe. It's the 4 guys, if you ask me, they seem like pretty solid guys to be your team captains this year, but I really did think that was something that we should take note about as well.